half interceptions against the Patriots alone. Now, Texans offensive coordinator Nick Caley is entering his second season with the team, and he has high expectations for his quarterback heading into 2026. Here's what he had to say.
We've had a chance to really try some different wrinkles and complements and add, some volume to the offense this offseason. And he's been there every step of the way. His consistency, his ability to move throughout the day, just being the same guy and taking it to the field. I've been really pleased and proud with what he's done.
All right, the Schrager Hour there, a little shameless plug. What should expectations? Not so shameless. What should expectations be for C.J. Stroud this year?
Sky high. C.J. Stroud, they have a championship, a Super Bowl defense on that side of the ball. This is year 2 with Nick Caley, as you talked about during the podcast with him. The expectation, C.J. Stroud, they said, from the spring all the way through training camp has been completely locked in. There's not contract talk or anybody upset. He is ready to go this season. They have receivers now going into their second year, Nolan, Higgins, Nico Collins is still there, Tank Dell's coming. There's not any of the excuses. Like, the expectations for him has to be to lead this team to a Super Bowl, because his rookie year, we saw that level of play, and it's completely each year has gone downhill, culminating with the playoffs the way he played a year ago. Coming off of that, you have to be light years better, and I believe he will be. I think it's a huge difference of having 2 years with the same coordinator, with the same system, and building around that. I have high expectations for C.J. Stroud.
There's a giant carrot at the end of this season. This is the ultimate bet-on-yourself deal where Will Anderson, his draft classmate in that class, got the monster contract this offseason. They opted not to do that for C.J. Stroud. Basically, show us one more time. This guy has taken his team to the Final Four of the AFC 3 straight years. The natural progression is, what can he do to get us over the hump? The way that season ended the last 2 seasons, Hawk, were so bad and terrible performances, especially the one on national TV against the Patriots on our network in the playoffs, where he played horrendous. The expectation is that was a blip and that he can get better, but he has to actually do it.
We've seen him play at a high level, and at a level where we say he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. They've given him every element for that to be the case this season. They have everything that it takes to run the same blueprint that the Seahawks ran a year ago with that defense. They have a running game now with David Montgomery. They revamped the offensive line. There were issues in the interior O-line, his protection. O-line. That's not there. He has a super deep receiving core. And if Tank Dell is healthy, and the Tank Dell we remember, there's literally no excuses for C.J. Stroud. So his expectations should be sky high, because if he is just a good manager, they have a chance. If he is the C.J. Stroud, like we've seen him at his best, they are a legit Super Bowl contender.
We talk about the Cowboys and how Dak just needs a little something more from the defense. I know we do a lot of hype about the Rams, and if Aaron Donald comes back to the Rams, this is the best defense ever. The Texans are the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
The Texans are unbelievable. Their back four is the best in the league. Their defensive front, their linebackers, Shazier gets everything. They're unbelievable. So Stroud just can't hurt them, but then when they need him in the big clutch moments, he has to do it.
His offensive line needs to be much better, too. And I know they revamped it, and they've addressed that, but that offensive line was atrocious. Did him no favors either. All right. Thank you so much for watching here on ESPN. The Little League Baseball Regionals are next here. We're going to move on over to ESPN2 and continue these kinds of NFC. Then the Packers lost their final 5 games, including the playoffs. They also blew a pair of double-digit leads to the Bears in a 4-week span there towards the end of the season. And so as we look ahead now, without Micah Parsons, what is at stake for Jordan Love this upcoming season, Hawk?
I think it's everything. I mean, when you look at what Micah Parsons provides to the Green Bay team and him not being in the lineup, the brunt of that responsibility has to go to Jordan Love, because that offense has to pick up the slack. Yes, the coaches need to have a scheme and a strategy that helps the team overall, both pre-Micah Parsons in the lineup and post-Micah Parsons. But for Jordan Love, there is a lot at stake. You have to show his efficiency. You have to show his ability to take care of the football, not have these dips throughout the season, because we know the level of quarterback that Jordan Love is, but there's always been these moments where you're like, man, there's been a 3-game stretch, a 2-game stretch, a 4-game stretch where he doesn't seem to be playing like the Jordan Love that we've become accustomed to. This is the moment where that needs to be the case, especially in these games where Micah Parsons is out, because the schedule is as favorable as it will be for 5 games. And if you show up as that Jordan Love, you will continue to give the Green Bay Packers a chance.
I love what we have to see from him this season. You think about just how his career has unwinded. You get drafted in the first round when Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, and Rodgers' expectation is, let's get more weapons around me so I can continue to win Super Bowls. You fast forward, they let Aaron Rodgers walk out of the building, and now there's question marks of who is this quarterback that you guys drafted? Can he get the job done? And they give him that kind of 1 year to see what he can do. Jordan Love performs, earns a contract from the Green Bay Packers. It seems as though when the pressure's on him and the expectations are at its highest, he typically shows up. This year, to me, now poses a very similar challenge to that. Where last year, yes, the expectation got to take another step. Yeah, your arrow's pointing this way. Now this year, it's like we know Micah Parsons isn't going to be there. There are guys on the defensive side of the ball, including the new coordinator and John Gannon, who have to step up and perform better than they did a year ago. But a lot of this does fall on Jordan Love. He knows it. Matt LaFleur, the head coach, knows it. The guys on the offensive side know it. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to approach this season and come out week one swinging for Jordan Love? To your point, you can't make the mistakes. You can't turn the football over. You can't take those chances down the field when it's not there. You can't put your defense in bad positions because you don't have the superstar on the outside to make up for it. So this, for me, is such a fascinating year for Jordan Love because if you don't show up this year, Micah Parsons may come back to a team that could be 1-4 if they're not performing the way they did. Because in our first hour, we talked about how bad the defense got when Micah Parsons was out, but they also weren't scoring as many points. So you cannot rely on that defense to get you the turnovers, to get you the field position. You have to go take the bull by his horns and do it. And I think the reason we look at Jordan Love the way we do is because from a talent standpoint, he has everything it takes. But this season, we need you in the MVP conversation. We need you to play like a top 5 quarterback if Green Bay is going to be talked about as real contenders in the NFC.
There aren't many excuses for him, right? Like, he's not the young guy anymore. He has had playoff success. That game against Dallas a couple of years ago in the wild card, I'll put that up against any quarterback performance you're going to watch. He was just lights out. And then last year against the Bears, he actually played really well in that playoff game. He lit it up in the wild card. They just weren't good enough on defense. LaFleur and him are like a symbiotic piece. It's the only coach, obviously, that he's known. It's the only offense that he's known. It's now entering yet another year into this. Like, Goff has another offensive coordinator. Josh Allen has now a new defensive coordinator, and they're fixing things there. Obviously, Lamar has this whole thing. And Hurts, there's no excuse for Jordan Love. Can't make the excuse that your best defensive player is out, but not the whole season, but a couple games. Like, not every team has a Micah Parsons, and they still have to play football. So, to me, it's like, Jordan Love, you're now at this point in your career. Hate to say it's now or never, because it's not. There's always next year and the year after that. He's a made guy for them. But there's no one you're going to point to and say, well, you don't have this and that. You've got it all. Let's just go and do it.
I mean, we know Micah Parsons is going to be out. We've known this for 8 months. The same way we talk about with the coaches, we know the same thing for Jordan Love. And on top of that, to your point of where he's at in his career, it's time for the Green Bay Packers not to be Mike LaFleur's team or Matt LaFleur's team. It's time for the Green Bay Packers not to be Micah Parsons' team.
That's a good point.
Jordan Love, you're the quarterback. You are a guy with top 5 franchise talent. This has to be your team, that as long as you're in the lineup, the Green Bay Packers have a chance. We have to flip that.
It's funny because last year there was like the Malik Willis thing, right? Like when he went out. And so now Malik Willis is elsewhere. Like there's no backup option. Like he's got to be the guy going forward. And so hopefully he can figure that out early and often. Let's go to Dallas. Dallas and Quinnen Williams have now agreed to a 3-year extension worth almost $106 million. The new deal will make the Cowboys star defensive tackle the second highest paid per year among defensive tackles in the league. Last year, after joining the Cowboys, Williams had 20 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 33 quarterback pressures. This offseason, the Cowboys hired former Eagles DB coach Christian Parker as their defensive coordinator. The 34-year-old Parker is the youngest D coordinator in franchise history, according to the team. Then they drafted Ohio State safety Caleb Downs with the 11th overall pick in the NFL draft, part of several notable additions to the secondary this offseason. And I know a lot of people are really high on Caleb Downs. If Dallas does make the playoffs, will it be because of their offense or will it be because of their defense, J-Mac?
Of course, it's going to be because of the defense. Like, you look
of course. Of course.
Come on. Now. Like, and not only that, like, they were a top 5 offense last year. Like, they were throwing the ball all around the field. Dak Prescott was unbelievable for them a year ago. Javonte Williams, their running back, got a new contract because of how they performed on the offensive side of the ball. It was the defense. They were last in so many metrics on that side of the ball. So if this team is going to improve enough to be a playoff team, it's going to be because Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark and Caleb Downs and Christian Parker calling the plays. They've come up and they've become a top 15 to top 10 defense, depending upon how far they can go if they make the playoffs. So to me, this is very much on the defensive side of the ball and what they can do. There's guys that are healthy on that side of the ball. There's been trades in D. Winters at the line. There's so many new faces on that side of the ball that they have to be good, because if they're not, this is going to be the same season we've talked about for 31 years with the Dallas Cowboys. That is the only thing that matters. Every question about the Cowboys team this year is how good can the defense be.
So I saw the movie The Odyssey over the weekend.
Amazing movie.
Did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Did you see it?
No. I got
The crux of it, if you're not a Greek mythology fan, is that this guy has this great conquest, and then it takes him years and years and years, and this meandering trip, and has to beat all sorts of mythical figures, and is just trying to get home and just trying to get back there. I feel like that's Jerry Jones with the NFC Championship game. Like, he got there early in his career as an owner. They won 3 Super Bowls, and it has been 31 years since they have gotten back. And I thought last year not paying Parsons was a really interesting decision for an 82-year-old man to say, you know what, we're going to let this man walk out of our building, and we're going to be okay. And it backfired at first. That defense was horrendous.